Well, after an absolute roller coaster round of 16 second leg game against Real Madrid, we are now facing the team in the quarterfinals who smashed Barcelona. We've got Benfica. Ladies, what are you? Welcome back, episode 77 of Oldham to Ohm. And yes, after that nail-biting, gut-wrenching, insert whatever other way you'd like to describe that game against Real Madrid, today we face Benfica in the Champions League quarterfinals. But before we do get there, guys, I just want to ask, if you are watching this and you're not yet subscribed, if you could, I am really trying to push to 400. Been hovering around the 380 mark for a long time now. And if you could just hit that subscribe button, smash the like button as well, that would mean a lot. We're also going to delve into our youth intake. There it is. It's crap. It's a poor intake, which is annoying because, you know, we have, like, where was I? These are awesome. Apart from youth facilities, which is 18, I mean, that's still pretty good. And not to mention as well our head of youth development, Dominic Schlotten. He is pretty good as well. So I don't know why, you know, they're not good. He's maybe going to have one more year. And then when did we sign him? We signed him 2028. So he's been here for 4 years. All right. Okay. All right. This is probably his first dud one. But anyway, there it is. We're going to have a look at the games that we have played since we left you last time. We played Southampton and we beat them 1-0 with a heavy rotated team. We did beat Leeds United 3-1. I am recording this the day after they have been relegated from the Premier League. But that is a whole another kettle of fish that I am not going to get into because that's not what this channel is about. It's about Football Manager content, if you hadn't realised. We then had to go to penalties to beat Wolves in the FA Cup quarter-final, which we did. And then we drew 2-2 with Liverpool in the league, which, you know, all right, fine, sure. It's probably what's going to cost us the league this year is all the draws. We've already picked up 8 so far, and we are 9 points behind Aston Villa at the moment, who are just running away with it. And then we obviously drew Aston Villa in the FA Cup semi-final because we play them literally a few days later, and that's how Football Manager works. I would have liked Southampton, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers and all that. So Benfica in the Champions League quarter-final, who they did knock out Barcelona 6-3 on aggregate. And they beat them 5-0 in the first leg, and then obviously lost in the second one, but had it done enough. In the semi-final, we will play PSG or Newcastle if we can get past them, while the other games are Bayern, Arsenal, Juventus, and Roma. Tough stuff. Right, let's get into this game here. We'll have a look at the team for today. It is Unison Goal, Musso, Richard, Guerrero, Lands, Lafiti, Signoni, Albert, Hasek, Sorensen, and Bruce Ball up front. With a pretty full bench there. Gokhan Sensoy is not quite fully fit, but he's on the bench anyway, probably won't be used. And Kani Chokomenka is also a little bit unfit, but let's get into this Benfica game. Yeah, we're already here, and hopefully let's try and get a good result in this first leg away from home. I'll meet you out on the pitch. We haven't got a highlight yet. I've just sort of, oh, there you go. Look at that. That's a good highlight. Dished out the standard encouragement as Benfica goes wide there, but he's offside. He was offside in the end. I was just thinking the other day about, like, when, you know, you always get to these points and say, when's the end of this save? I mean, we're 77 episodes in now, so it's been tracking quite nicely. Even though we won the league last year, I'm not sure we can do the Champions League this year. We're definitely not going to win the league this year. And I mean, the ultimate plan was, when I originally sort of said this, was that we would try and be the biggest club in the sort of Manchester area. Now, I mean, that's a long way off to get past, obviously, United and City. But what I was thinking was that I don't think in this universe, I'll have to double check, I don't think City have ever won a treble. And I mean, like, the big treble, Champions League, and the FA Cup. Manchester United, I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure they've still only got the one treble. So what I'm thinking, this is my plan, is two trebles. Not in a row, but 2 trebles, and that could be Signoni getting 9th goal this season, and that could be the end of this. is winning 2 trebles with Oldham, because the treble is like incredibly hard to do, as shown by the fact in real life that not many teams actually do that. And I know some teams wouldn't like like a small treble, but I'm talking about like the big treble of the FA Cup, of the league, and the Champions League. So that would be the plan for that. So let me know down in the comments if you're watching this, if you think that's a good idea or whatever. But I am still really enjoying this save, even though it's this far along, and I know it's hard for new people to get into this, especially when you're like 70 odd episodes deep. There's a lot to catch up. But if you're watching this and you're not catching up, go and just binge. Just absolutely binge it. Do what I do sometimes when I'm watching someone's series on YouTube. I put the speed up to like 1.5 as Alberts gets our second. I put the speed up to 1.5 and watch the videos in 1.5 speed. It cuts down all the time. It's really good. That's how it just makes people sound a little bit faster. But you get the gist, and it works fine. But that's me done that day. We are going to make a couple of substitutions in a minute. Even though we are going to play a fully rotated team against Fulham, I might actually just leave everyone for the moment. We'll just keep an eye on. We might go to 75 minutes before we make those substitutions of tired players. But Bruce Ball there, just a well-weighted pass to Sorensen, who finds Musa, who it's a deflection in. But I think I was going to say it's a penalty as Bruce Ball goes down there, but it's not. As I keep an eye on these hearts here, as I said before, because I feel like these ones are slightly off. They don't seem to update as well as these ones, like Lafiti. Those two midfielders, Lafiti and Signori, they always get tired. I make them do an absolute buttload of work. So they, cannot be blamed. But we will bring on Ruthis and Cisse there. We might make another change with Carlos on for Bruce Ball, and we'll just leave that there. But it's a nice 2-0 lead at the moment, especially away from home, is very, very good. Musa, the captain, also looking a bit tired. We will make our final 2 substitutions after this highlight ends, and I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking in this episode, which probably means there's going to be less stuff edited out, which is also good. Can we add a third? We can. It is Boubacar Cissé. Get in, the youngster, sheer magic from Oldham. That Benfica do not look like the team who beat Barcelona 5-0. They just do not really look like they are threatening that much. We will bring on Krisic, and the final one will be Mark Beresford on for Alberts. Just want to give Beresford as much game time as possible, just really trying to develop this kid so we can get some good kids through our youth setup. Fingers crossed. But this is going to be a comfortable win, and then should be nice and easy in that second leg, which will be at home as well, which will be an awesome advantage. If I was going to say, it'd be good if we can keep a clean sheet, which at the moment we are trying very, very hard not to, but that is some great play there from Sorensen and Carlos linking up, and now we go on a counter-attack with Hasek over the top there. I thought that was a wayward pass, and then I thought we were going to get it, but in the end, it was a wayward pass. Has Benfica on the ball now, striving forward, trying to get back into this game, trying to get something to take into the second leg. Cisse a little bit heavy on the touch there, but Krisic scoops that up, and then I was going to say he loses the ball, but he manages to keep hold of it as we just waste some time and we win the match. XG very, very similar. We dominated the possession in the end, and the passes completed were awesome. David Hasek, 2 assists. That man is just on fire. Absolutely on fire. Well done, lads. Well done. Right, we're going to go play Fulham in the league, and I will be back for, which I guess sort of turns out to be now a bit of a, I was going to say dead rubber. It's not quite a dead rubber second leg, but I want to show you these are the big games. Quarterfinal of the Champions League. Bayern and Arsenal drawing 2-2, a draw for Juventus, and it looks like we're going to play Newcastle in that semi-final. But we still have to get the small matter of getting past Benfica in the second leg. I'll see you there in a bit. Right, well, the treble probably idea is not happening this season after we absolutely just, I don't know, It's not a traditional FMing, but it's close. It is close. They had 5 shots on target, XG of 1.47. We had an XG of 2.4, and we just could not put the ball in the back of the net. I rotated a bit, not super heavily. As you can see here, we still had our same centre backs. We still had Alberts, and I mean, these guys are still good. They just had a really, really off day, and that off day has hurt us. And apparently, there's going to be an inquest into me losing that game, which is weird. But yeah, that's probably cost us definitely the chance of challenging for the Premier League. I think Aston Villa are going to win this. Arsenal would be, because if you have a look here, was it last year we pipped Arsenal to the league again. So they're really, really going to be unlucky to lose to another team that aren't a traditional big team. But I can say this league, look at this. Look, I was in City one here, it's Newcastle 2 in a row, and then Wolves, us, and then potentially Villa. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked from the team today. I've also just realised that we do have an FA Cup semi-final against Aston Villa. If you have a look at our schedule here, we have a 2-day break, the semi-final cup against Villa, and then 3-day break, and then we play them in the league. So, I mean, I knew that, I just didn't know that the dates were so tight, and that is going to kill us. And then we've got like Chelsea and Man City and Newcastle on the final day. It's going to be really, really tough. So I have tweaked the squad just a little bit for this game with some different sort of players coming in, and then we can, go to the FA Cup and just sort of rotate the squad. But I'm with a strong squad and a lesser squad. The 3-0 win against Benfica was great. But here we are today. It is unison goal. Jimenez at right back. Rashad Fenlon is going to get a chance at left centre back, although these two do not play well. Benny Couto at left back, Krisic, Signoni, Alberts, Hasek, Galvez, and Jose Carlos up front. Adam Eder coming back from injury. Poor Adam Eder. I was always like, maybe we should have sold him in the summer. And I'm like, no. And then I was like, maybe we should have sold him in January. And then he got injured and his contract runs out and I'm probably not going to renew it. And I think that's fair to let him go on a free transfer. We're getting this kid in. Take Kuya Kakimoto. He is a Japanese central midfielder. He is rated at 5 stars. 2 at the moment. He's consistent. He's joining us pretty much on a free or 700,000 or something. Japanese will get some shirts. Go to Captain Japan. 17 will become homegrown at club, which is, I need a lot of them. But anyway, let's get into this game. I feel like this episode has been one of those, it's more of a talking episode, because I feel comfortable against Benfica. So I think, and hopefully we don't bottle this because it'll be an absolute disaster. But, I am liking the 2 treble idea. It's going to be really tough, actually. Really, really, really tough. We'll pencil that in as a goal. But let me know down in the comments what you think about that. Or maybe it is, we've given up a goal here to Joao Martins. That's not the start we want. That was really poor from who was the centre back there. Was it Richard? Yeah, it's really poor off his chest. Really, really poor control from him. He should do a lot better. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you think doing the treble twice is worth it, or it's going to just be a bit like, oh, okay, we're winning a lot here. But I guess what I've got on sort of my thinking is that it's not like we've built a really good team of like 20. Oh, Ian Alberts, what a shot! Get in. We haven't built a team of like 27 years old, 20 guys in their sort of late 20s to really sort of challenge. This is a very, very young squad, and watching these guys be able to progress as well would be absolutely amazing, which is something that I really want to see. I want to see how, like Alberts, for example, how good this guy can actually get, because David Hasek, 19th goal of the season. Speaking of players who are still relatively young, I think Hasek is only, if we check him here, I think he's 22, David Hasek. Ian Alberts, 21. Jose Carlos, he's a bit old, 25. But Rennie Galvez, 22. See what I mean? Like, Signoni's not that old. Fenlon, Rashad, they're all quite young. So That'd be really cool to see. Jesus Christ, what the hell was that? That is two, like, those orange dotted lines between these two have cost the 2 goals. I mean, Rashad in the first one, that was here, but here he panics, and that's a poor pass to Fenlon. Luckily, we're far enough ahead, but like even Krisic, what's Krisic, 22 as well. I don't think Signori's that old either. But, you know, these guys are like early to mid-20s at the absolute most. And Hasek here again has a good chance, and Signori. Where are we? How old is Signori? He's 23. Fenlon, 23. Rashad, 22. I mean, I think I've made my point. I don't think we need to go on too many other players. But yeah, like, can you imagine how good these guys are going to be? Oh my God, we're not going to bottle this, are we? We're not going to bottle this. No. I can't bottle this. But think how good these guys are going to be in like 5 years' time, especially if we keep this squad together. I'm going to point the finger and tell them I'm not too happy, because I'm not. Yes, we scored 2 goals, but I mean, come on. Benfica with the long throw. Jimenez hits it down. Signori, you just got to turn and shoot. You just got to turn and shoot. I was going to say, if that goes in, we are in trouble. But yes, I've rotated. Yes, I've put some players in here who maybe aren't that strong, like Fenlon and Rashad. Their partnership is not very good. I mean, Oldham Benfica, sorry, have only had 3 shots on target, and they have bloody scored with all of them. So what we are going to do is we are going to put Ruthie's on for Rashad there. I'll take him off because he's someone who we will need later on. Alves can just sort of play himself into the dust. I don't know where I'm going with that. But Signori would be someone to come off. We will bring Cisse on for him. I'm looking at Hasek and Alberts, the 2 players who need to come off as well. Kani Chapamenka. We might actually just leave those 2 there for the moment, because I don't want to. Still sort of early in the game. We might give them another 10-ish or so minutes before we make those changes. Although Helvez on that right is tired. He's not someone who I want to take off. Would be looking at the likes of, I guess, really Hasek and Albert's the only 2. Eunice is on a 5.9 in possibly his worst game for Oldham ever, as Galvez there, Alberts. Surely he's put the game beyond doubt now. Surely. But yeah, still question marks over Eunice. Is he good enough for us in the long run? He's tracking at 3 stars at the moment. His stats are okay, but we'll make the change after this height. But is he in for the long run? I don't know. He won the Premier League. Did he win the Premier League with us last year? No, he didn't. It was Bergstrom who was our goalkeeper. This is his sort of first full year. I mean, if we do manage to get a Champions League, FA Cup win, doing a double, then maybe he's the goalkeeper. Who knows? Krisic. Galvez now. Cisse, goal scorer against Benfica in the first leg. Krisic, Alberts. Galvez has a pop and it goes wide right. It is definitely time to make those substitutions now with Hasek off, as well as Beresford can come off for Alberts, and that's pretty much everyone there who is not going to. Everyone on the field at the moment is probably not playing in that game against whatchamacallit, Aston Villa. Yeah, but yeah, that'll do. I think we've got the last one there just in case Galvez does go off injured, but I'm happy at the moment. We'll just to be on the safe side, we might do the last substitution with Sorensen on for the last 10 minutes. Hopefully he's not getting too injured there. I would have maybe liked someone else on for him, but here's what it is Jimenez driving forward in an unfamiliar positioning right back. Probably should have been Ortega playing there, but he is not registered for the Champions League. So that's a problem. Benfica now whipping in the corner, which could be one of the final plays of the game. Benfica are done and dusted quarterfinals. Pretty impressive for them, beating Barcelona, but they don't have enough to beat the mighty Oldham Athletic. That was a good two-legged win. I'd agree with that. Well done, boys. Well bloody done. The fans, what they say? Decent result. Yeah. I've watched a lot of football, but Albert's performance right. Yeah, this Albert's kid, he is going to be special. And Newcastle have gotten past PSG for 6-2 on aggregate. Roma beating Juventus and Bayern beating Arsenal in extra time there. So we will play Newcastle. It's going to be an all-English semi-final against the Germans and the Romans in the other one. Ian Albert, this guy, he is special. He is something special at the moment. So happy we picked him up for 20 million from Ajax. And he doesn't look like he's playing that well, but I think it's fantastic. Good Galvez, not out for that long. We get 9 million just for that. And we get Newcastle in that semi-final. Alberts was amazing. Obviously, we just praised him. And let's have a look at the schedule. So I am going to skip this FA Cup semi-final. It will probably be, I guess, double Newcastle Champions League semi-final will be the next episode. Just to, keep the Champions League rolling. It's just all about Champions League at the moment. I don't think we're going to win the league. And then I think, depending on what happens here, the final episode could be like a Champions League semi-final double, which would be crazy. Crazy winning the Champions League. And of course, we face Newcastle on the final day here, so that's interesting. But let me know down in the comments what you think about doing two triples. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.